a.m. We just finished watching the fifth episode of Moon Knight, which is gonna be Asylum.
Yeah, season 1, episode 5, called The Asylum.
Asylum.
Called Asylum. Yeah.
Dude, I mean, just this last episode just been intense. I mean, there's just so much like fourth wall breaking, Matrix kind of vibe, having to go from one scene to another, and it's just psychologically messing with your mind because you're like, so which is real? His mindset where he really is in asylum, or is he in the gates of hell, which is where Osiris is, and now he's balancing and scaling his heart if he's worthy to transcend and go back.
hmm
And dude, it's pretty intense, dude. It's great. A lot of Dante's Inferno. Oh yeah, definitely. What is up, my man? Look at Phantom X. Shutter Island vibes.
A lot of
Yes,
Dante's
yes,
Inferno.
yes.
I actually, you know what? I remember watching Dante's Inferno, and I think that series was like a few episodes. Like each like I guess chapter was like a different animation.
Yeah, but it was
Um,
still pretty crazy.
of Dante like going through like hell and stuff, and it was pretty cool.
Hmm.
I didn't really. I think it was a game to that too. Shutter I Phantom X says Shutter Island vibes. Yes, absolutely. Also, Phantom X. I don't know if you watched the Matrix, Matrix 4, but also Matrix 4. There was um, there was a kind of like a callback of like when when Mark was talking with the Doctor Harrow, who's not a real doctor, by the way, and then the doctor was like, "No, no, this is all just a figment of your imagination. You're not really a superhero, but everything's just your imagination." That is a lot of like it reminds me of like that one scene when Neo from the Matrix 4 was talking to Doctor Doogie Howser, or the guy Patrick. What's his name? Patrick something something Patrick. When he was playing that doctor and told him like the Matrix is not real and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. It's a lot of that. Yeah, it's a good show. The last episode was a lot of horror into it, but I think this one is more like I don't know. This one's more like kind of like I don't know, like weird, you know. I don't know, it's just like a lot of crazy things happen in this one. We get to know more about like the hippopotamus, the hippo
Oh yeah.
goddess, who's just Tararet, right?
Yeah. It was the life of fertility,
The life of
life
fertility,
of
the goddess of fertility,
goddess
the
of,
goddess of childhood fertility and stuff.
and it's just trippy because why is she locked up in hell?
Okay, so Phantom X says, "What's gonna happen with Steven?" And that's a good
Yes, that is
question.
the question of
That's
the
a
day.
that's a good question
Like,
because
what's gonna
Steven
happen?
is not real. Steven is actually a safe space. He's just a figment
Figment of
of his
imagination.
imagination. He
Yeah.
was never real to begin with. Mark is the real person, and
Hmm.
Steven was like something that he just created.
When he was a child, when he was being
Every
abused.
time, every time he see the thing is like with Mark is that before he even got this power of Moon Knight, he already had like multi personality disorders.
Hmm.
And that's interesting because there are a lot of cases like that with people who think that they have like different people manifesting in their minds, different personalities and
Oh
stuff like
yeah.
that. So yeah, man. So what's gonna happen with Steven? That's a good question. I don't know, dude. I think he's dead.
I
But
think
then
he's
again,
gone.
if you think about it, Mark can recreate him again since he never was
Who
alive from the
knows?
beginning.
Maybe he could
You know
forget
what I mean?
everything of
I don't know
who
what you
Steven
think,
was.
Phantom X. I mean, do you think Steven's long gone, or can Mark recreate another persona, another personality? Because if he's strong enough to create Steven, then why not create somebody else?
Like Jacob.
People with bipolarism or people with multi personality disorders and stuff like
Hmm.
that. Usually, in these cases they can recreate anything they want. Just like we do. Every time
Mm-hmm.
we're stressed and afraid of something or we fear something, we turn to our fictional novels or our fictional films like Star Wars and stuff. To kind of like escape from the reality issues that we deal with. In real time. So
Yeah.
that's why I think this movie does a lot. It does a lot of that. It mirrors a lot of what people go through in their daily lives. What about you, Efren?
Dude,
I
man,
mean,
it's just having just seeing his like for me, I think like Steven is probably gonna be gone.
mm-hmm.
Like he might just disappear completely from him because it's kind of like I'm sure being in hell and falling and having to say it claims the soul. Like if you really claim the
But he's
soul,
not real though. He was never real.
that's true. So he could recreate him, huh?
I mean,
That's
Steven was never real. Okay,
But you know what did
so
trip me out was the fact that Steven was still able to fight back, being an
I think
imagination.
that's like the strength of Mark. If you ever seen what's that movie what's that one movie not Tenet, another movie that Chris Nolan did, something about dreams. If you guys know what I'm talking about, what's that movie about dreams that Chris Nolan did?
It's no, I don't just know Inception.
Inception. Okay, you know how like Inception, they talk about like in your mind
What's
when
up, Sunny Fresco?
Sonny Fresco
Top
says.
of the morning, fellas. What's up, brother? What's good, man?
So in what do you call this? In Inception, you're you're the director, and basically your characters in your dream starts attacking anything that's interrupting or that's like trespassing in your dreams.
Mm.
If you don't belong in that dream, those characters will attack. So I think this is like the case of what's going on with Mark and Steven. I think the reason why Steven was able to fight back is because Mark just has this like strong-willed character
Yeah.
power. And I think that's Mark's willing. I think Mark, was able to get Steven to like fight back. But then again, like Steven's not alive. So
Yeah.
did you want?
Phantom X says Moon Knight needs to have split personalities to work. That's what I was telling them as well. I think they need each other in order for them to function right. You know,
Well, we're definitely not gonna have the suited Moon Knight without Steven because it looks like that. Depending on what persona takes over, that's the type of Moon Knight because every Moon Knight looks different depending on what his persona is. Based on his personality and stuff. So, like, Steven has his own persona with the whole suit and everything, and
hmm
then of course you have Mark who's like the Batman Moon Knight.
hmm
If there was like another personality, you'll probably have a different looking design Moon Knight. So it really depends.
Jacob. I just don't know how it would look like though.
Jacob, so so Efren's been reading a few of the chapters of the comic books. What do you know about Jacob?
But as far as Jacob, there's they are saying that Jacob was the one who like was a director, and he had created
Kind of like in the
like
Matrix.
yeah he like created this film and he
Yeah,
played
Inception.
his own characters. Like he played Mark, he played Steven, and that's why if you hear in the episode where Doctor what's his name,
Dr.
Doctor
Harrow.
Harrow was talking about, he even brought it up saying, hey, he goes, yeah, you said that you worked as a director, you worked in films, or so, like kind of bringing that up. So
It's
those
kind
are
of like
gonna be
something
like,
like the Matrix.
and then also like the coffin that wasn't open when like, dude, come on, that was like a way for them to waken and bring out the third persona, because there were a lot of like as far as little skits that played, that they were like, I don't remember being doing this, and Steven didn't remember, so it's like, how did it
I know
happen?
that's still that part right there is questionable. Like there's a part where um, there are which episode I think it was episode 3 where they find dead people and even Steve's like Mark says like well, why would you do this, how can you kill someone, and Steve's like I didn't do this, like I thought you did it. It's like I didn't do it. So I thought that maybe there was like a third person there.
Mm-hmm.
Third person, get it, third person, no. Anyway. So Phantom X goes, Moon Knight needs to have split personalities to work. Yes, we agree. And then the hippo, Phantom X also says the hippo spoke about the ancestral plane. Yeah, that one also reminded me of like scenes from like Pirates of the Caribbean. Black Panther callback. Yes, definitely Black Panther. Who is the goddess? Black Panther and the goddess of heart or something like that.
The goddess of dude,
You had it like man, I
we were
tested you
talking.
on it. So who's that? Who's the goddess? That the I'm sure Phantom X probably knows who the goddess is.
The goddess of what? The goddess of healing and magic, or the goddess of night?
Hmm.
Let me see.
But if not, while Efren's looking for that,
Let's see if
and yes, Phantom X goes Inception. Yes, I definitely mentioned Inception. This has a lot of Inception feels to it as well. As far as like your projections would attack anything that's interrupting or anything that trespasses in your dreams or
mhm.
dream within a dream. So Phantom X also says Jake is still in play too. Jake, you remember who Jake is?
Jake.
No? Yes? No?
No,
No? Mr. Knight. Phantom X says Mr. Knight.
Mr. Knight. Do you remember?
No, I don't.
Please let us know, Mr.
I
Phantom
don't.
X.
Yeah, please
Let
let
us
us know,
know.
Phantom X. But yes, definitely, I agree with the whole Inception thing. Yeah, definitely, there is a lot of Inception callback as well. Um, also, so okay, that one scene when Mark talks about his partner killing Lila's father, right? And this is in episode 4. Lila finds out that Mark was Mark's partner. Well, Mark didn't do anything, but Mark's partner and they were both mercenaries, American mercenaries. They killed her father. She finds out and she
Oh
gets
yeah.
mad. And then Mark starts
Harold saves her
crawling.
too.
Like Mark survives, and I forgot who the his partner is, but his partner kills everyone. Mark starts crawling into the tomb
Khonshu.
of Khonshu, right?
Khonshu.
I always say Khonshu.
This guy.
I keep
This guy's
thinking of
thinking of a
Star Wars.
restaurant.
No, I'm thinking of Star Wars.
Khonshu Sushi.
So Khonshu so when Khonshu started talking to Mark and telling him, you know, um, just make a deal with me, and as long as you take care of the what do you call it, the travelers,
Mm-hmm.
and you know have my vengeance towards like whoever hurts the travelers. As long as you say yes, then we're good, right? So that part reminds me of like him making the deal of the devil. Ghost Rider vibes right there. Spirit of Vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys are
Just
Ghost
to
Rider
survive.
fans, Ghost Rider becomes like the Spirit of Vengeance because he makes a deal with the devil, which is Mephisto. So that reminds me a lot of what went on with Mark and Khonshu.
Khonshu.
Khonshu. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of magic here. I'm getting a lot of magic vibes here. With this phase of Marvel, we're getting like more magic, more celestials, more gods. We're
Yeah.
learning more about like the kind of like the chain of the command of like all the different gods and like the relationships between like the Norse gods and the
The Olympians. And which,
the
by the
Olympians,
way,
the
we
Greek
we
gods,
watched. Sorry, cut.
the god of in Black Panther, the goddess as well.
Yeah.
They're all connected and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of that, let's just watching Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh, we just watched the trailer
You know,
just today,
when we
actually.
watched the trailer, we actually realized like, yo, is that Zeus? Like
I thought
I
that was
honestly
Zeus.
think that would be Zeus. That would be cool because then
So
that's when they start bringing more of the
well,
gods. Like
those are the Greek
yeah,
gods now.
but
So
they
now
could
they're mixing the Greek god. The Norse gods are like Odin and them, Thor and all
yeah
that. But I think that was Zeus. So
yeah
it looked like Zeus to me. So yeah, man. I love this show. I'm liking the show so much. If you guys thank you for joining us, go ahead and comment. Let me think what you think about this show.
yeah
Thanks, Phantom X, for your comments as well.
yeah man for
Um,
the
but you
engagement.
did say something about Mr. Knight and Jake. I don't remember who
Yeah,
Jake is. So
Jake
if
is
you can
still
kind of throw in like who Jake is, because like, oh, another thing I wanted to mention too. Like, I mean, this is more. this is more talking about like what happened in episode 4. But I really like episode 4 because it really had that Mummy Returns Mummy vibes to it.
Hmm.
And we did miss that live review in episode 4 because we were kind of sick. But just that one mummy creature that was
Oh
doing that
yeah,
like weird noises and stuff like that.
yeah. Those were like probably the defenders of the tomb.
Yeah, maybe or so, but that was creepy. So I like the vibe on this show because it's a lot different from what we usually get from like the Falcon and Winter Soldier,
Hmm.
WandaVision, and all the other Marvel series that came before this. Again, don't know too much about what's going on with Moon Knight and the story. How you going so far with that with your comic book? 'Cause
I'm reading it. It's definitely interesting, dude. Because
what issue is it though? It's Moon Knight #1 or something.
I think so. I have it. Hold on.
Everyone's gonna grab you real quick, and
There you go. Check this out.
so this is what Efren's been reading so far, and it's a big book. It's a bunch of chapters. If you guys want to check that out, um, maybe it will kind of like give you a little refresher of more about the character. But even though if you don't know too much about the character, this is still a good way to like get down with it.
Yeah, definitely. It's a crazy, man. I'm really interested in the whole like the gods, the Egyptian gods. Now that hopefully they start bringing the Olympic
I just
gods
want to see
and
Mephisto
like
soon too, man. So I don't know. Might get Mephisto like somewhere down. Wait, did we get Mephisto in Loki? I didn't finish it, but anyway, yeah. But yeah, even the Eternals. Everyone didn't watch the Eternals, but I saw the Eternals. The Eternals was more focused on the Celestials, which is really cool because like, what could you say about like the war between the Celestials and the Norse gods? Didn't
oh
you?
yeah, yeah. So there was a comic in Thor number 300. That's basically where all the religions gods practically they teamed up to try to take down the Celestials. They tried, fell, and all that happened was the Celestials told them like, if you interfere with the human plans, what we have for them, we're gonna consume your planet or your
Hmm.
home. So they threatened
So it just
Nirvana,
goes
the
to show that
Olympians.
Celestials are even more powerful
Of
than the
course,
Norse
because
gods
it's
and
like
the
they.
Greek gods.
I think the Celestials were the ones that put these gods in place.
Hmm.
And it's like
Well, the Celestials also created the Eternals. They're
yeah,
like duplicates. They
exactly,
molded the Eternals. Like the Eternals were like are like
like gods almost.
think of like Wonder Woman, Dinah, right? Think of Wonder Woman like she's created by clay,
Hmm.
by Zeus. So
Hmm.
Zeus created Dinah, Wonder Woman with clay, with God clay. And that's something like the Celestials did with the Eternals. They created them, and if the first batch didn't work, then they just duplicated them,
Hmm.
which is pretty fucked up. So like the Eternals, they have memories of what they did in the past. That's why they never age. They're just eternity, right? And once they die or whatever, if they once they expire, then of course they make a new batch of Eternals.
Yeah.
So it's crazy how like they're trying to put all these links together, linking all
Yeah.
the gods together,
And that'd be
but it's
crazy if
really
they
interesting.
actually do, like that. That would be pretty amazing to put. That would be something that's like putting every single one of them all in one world, which is pretty
Hmm.
cool. What is Phantom X said? Russell Crowe is Zeus. Yes,
Oh, so that was Zeus.
yes. And there's
Russell Crowe
and
is playing Zeus, and that's what I said. Okay, so Phantom X says maybe Hercules will make an appearance, bro. On our trailer reaction, I
it was
said if Zeus, if that's Zeus,
then
then
Hercules.
Hercules is definitely going to come out, and Hercules it becomes an Avenger in the comic books. And Hercules' power, he's actually a lot stronger than Thor. He can go hand to hand with the Hulk. That's how strong Hercules is. But yeah, I am
That'd be
so down to see Marvel Hercules.
that would be awesome,
I
dude.
mean, we've had Kevin Sorbo as Hercules.
Hmm.
Xena, and yeah. I don't know if you guys are as old as me, but yeah, Xena and yeah.
And honestly, I think if they are gonna start bringing in more of the gods because come on, they're bringing in Gore, and we all know exactly what's up with Gore. Exactly. We know how Gore even came about, and it's a trip because I didn't know that, Noel was the very first symbiote that ever existed. And I guess when in one of the comic books, it was Null that was fighting some other god, and I guess they both fell onto Earth, and that's where Gore, having his family that all died from like you know just shit. They had no water. They just couldn't survive. And then I guess that's where Gore kind of realized, yo, these gods existed, and that's what pissed him off. And he used what they call the necro blade, the black necro blade,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how he uses it to kill the god and possess all the power. So I think Gore is. I mean, they're gonna bring in more gods, and then Gore is gonna either start hunting them or maybe not. Maybe
Well,
it's
in
not.
this episode, what is it? Is it called Osiris Gates of Hell?
Yeah, Osiris is the god of underworld.
Osiris is like
It's
the
like
it
Hades.
is like Hades
Yeah.
of the ancient Egyptian gods and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, man. Thanks a lot, Phantom X, for all
Yes.
your comments. And
Hercules.
shout out to Sunny Fresco. Well, top of the morning, fellas. Good evening to you as well. Thank you for your comments, Sunny
Mm-hmm.
Fresco. And yeah, man. And of course, a shout out to our Patreons.
Yes,
This
definitely.
is Jason Patron.
Jason Beltran, Brandon Ross, and Invincible.
Jason Beltran, Brandon Ross, and
Yes.
Invincible. Thank you again for your
It
patronage.
says Venom also rolled up on Noel and whipped his butt. Nice.
Nice.
No,
No, respond to it.
but I mean, shit. I mean, what's to respond? It's just that's fucking dope.
Hmm. Thanks a lot, Phantom X. You're one of the few that like stays up with us as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you like the video, go ahead and like, subscribe. Is there
Yeah.
anything else that you want to like cover in this? Oh, the
Uh,
hippopotamus, by the way, Tyrarette. I know you mentioned it, Phantom X. Tyrarette was so adorable,
oh yeah.
so adorable, and
Yeah, yeah.
there was some Easter eggs with Tyrarette talking and stuff. But yeah, the hippo was cute. I
Mm-hmm.
can't wait to see where this goes because we ended up in the we ended up in Kansas.
I do want to ask Phantom X.
Some cornfields at the
I
end of
know.
this episode.
Phantom X, what do you think of this? They're saying that supposedly that Odin, since Odin is like the god who's like the protector of all the nine realms, do you think like the Olympians and all these other realms are like the different types of pantheons or different types of gods or religions? And Odin was the keeper, because there's also part of the comics that they were saying that supposedly some of the gods were locked up and Odin was the one who released them. So I'm not sure if you know anything about
I
that.
just
If you
feel
would like to
like
share that
I
with
feel
us.
like the Norse gods, the Greek gods, the ancient Egyptian gods. I think they only exist based on the beliefs. You know what I mean? But then
Exactly.
in this world, in the Marvel world, any of these gods can exist. Because it's still fictional. So, but yeah. So I remember watching Beowulf, and Beowulf. There was this one scene where Odin was the main god, and then one time. I think that one guy, there's this one guy who plays like the king's servant or something. He goes, well, there is a new god called Christ Jesus that
Hmm.
people are like worshiping right now. So I'm like, oh, okay, so it really depends on the beliefs.
Uh,
I like these gods. These gods only exist based on the beliefs and the eras. So even in Greek mythology, it's still called mythology, but who knows?
yeah.
But yeah, great show. Yeah, we learned more about like the history of different gods. Oh yeah, even that callback with Alexander the Great.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah, that was
awesome.
a good little
I mean, he
callback right
was
there.
definitely Alexander. He was a
Yeah,
well-known
like
pharaoh.
the pharaoh. The pharaoh is one of the avatars that they
So it's
had.
it's right that he was the one who was serving Amid. Because he was definitely like the top of like who ruled a lot
I
of
was
this.
still look. I was still waiting for the Scorpion King to be like, if you smell
Oh,
Scorpion King, man.
Scorpion
I
King.
was waiting for the Rock to just pop out with like
Uh,
a scorpion tail and
yeah,
stuff.
looks like
But
half Goru, half.
because there's a lot of like the Scarab, like there's a lot of Mummy Returns, in here. So, and I love Mummy Returns.
Yeah.
And Mummy. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks again
Appreciate
for
you
your
guys.
comments. Thanks again for your likes. Thanks again for watching. Thank you again for spending time with us. For all you nocturnal bats out there, thanks a lot,
Yes.
guys. You awesome vampires that only sleep during the daytime, and do this during the nighttime. Yeah, so check out our other videos as well. The chain reactions are up, and the next chain reaction is in production.
Boom.
You know, and then yeah, hopefully we can get our
Yep.
yeah.
Pretty soon we'll be releasing the Big Brother reaction, the latest chain reaction. So stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for that.
And
And we are about to go to sleep because Efren got work
I
in
gotta
a
wake
few
up
hours,
at 6 a.m.
and I gotta wake up early in the morning too.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you next week. So, peace out for now.
Peace.
Oh,
Oh yeah, you're supposed to, dude.
supposed to-
You're supposed to close it, bro.